Okay, in the last video we were talking about how do you set up a cash flow statement in an Excel sheet. We kind of developed this cash flow statement, and at the end, the first time we did it, we had a positive net increase in cash. We went through and we redid some numbers. We dropped the revenue received. We adjusted some of the expenses to raise the expenses up. And we just changed a few numbers, and only reason I was really doing that was just to show an example here at the very end. So as we talked about, we have operating activities, we have investing activities, financing activities, then we add the net cash flow from operating activities for the investing activities. And for financing activities, we add all that together to come up with the net increase in cash. We see that based on the numbers that we have, that it's a negative increase in cash. This could be a very real scenario and it really is in a lot of farming operations. Sometimes they don't make any money. They actually have a net decrease in cash, or their net increase in cash is negative. They make no money and they actually lose money on certain years. It happens in business. So let's say that for you to feel comfortable at say Casper Farms, for you to feel comfortable that you'll be able to make it through the year without going bankrupt, is you need to have at least $50,000 in the bank at the beginning of the year in 2017. Well, you had $50,000 in the bank at the beginning of 2016. Everything was great. At the end of the year, it cost you $11,600 more than you made. You have a net decrease in cash, or your net increase in cash is negative. And at the end of the year, you have an ending cash of $38,400. But you need to have at least $50,000 to feel comfortable. So what do you need to do? You need to take out an operating loan. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how much of an operating loan they're going to need. And we're going to use an if-then statement. An if-then statement is typed in by saying equals if. See if I can do this. Equals if, enter. It's not going to pull up exactly what I want right now. So, an if-then statement there it is. That's what I was looking for. An if-then statement, it says if you have to put in a logical expression, and it's going to reveal one value if it's true and one value if it's false. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if this particular value, if your ending cash is below what you want, so if your ending cash is less than, say, $50,000, or say in this example we want ending cash to be at least $75,000. So if ending cash is less than $75,000, then if that's true, remember we want at least $75,000 in the bank. We're going to say, and if we have less than that, then we want $75,000 minus the ending cash. And if it's not true, if we have over $75,000 in the bank, we don't need an operating loan. So that's actually going to be 0. So we need an operating loan of $36,600. So how was that calculated? What we did is we started off by saying equals, or we wanted to know if this ending cash was less than $75,000. So we start off and we say, is this less than $75,000? So we say equals if, is this less than $75,000? And if it's true, that's where we're going to type in, if it's less than $75,000, all I'm really doing is going through this again. If this is less than $75,000, then we want to have enough of an operating loan to bring our ending cash back up to $75,000. Well, how do you do that? Well, you find the difference between the ending cash and the amount that you want in the ending cash. So we say $75,000 minus this amount. Well, if this amount is greater than $75,000, you don't need an operating loan. So, if we don't need an operating loan, if this value right here is false, we don't need an operating loan, we can simply press in a 0. Again, we'll yield the same answer. So, why does it spit out this particular number? Well, we said we want ending cash plus the operating loan to be at least equal to $75,000. So that's where that comes in. So the beauty of the if-then statement is, say hypothetically, this value right here was not negative $11,600. It was in fact, say, $80,000. Now, if you see the ending cash changed to $130,000, that $130,000 is greater than the $75,000. So this statement right here is now false. If it's false, then it resorts it back here to where it says 0. Remember, if this statement is true, then it's going to perform this action. But if it's false, it's going to perform this action. So, since that statement right there is false, since this value indeed is greater than $75,000, it's actually going to return a 0. Of course, you could come in and say, alright, this is less than $75,000 and we need $75,000. So we say equals $75,000 minus this. We get the, doesn't like commas and like that. We get the same answer, everything's fine. But if you have a large worksheet, and this is a reoccurring worksheet to where you need to figure out if you need an operating loan for 2016, then 2017, then 2018, it's much simpler to type in one if statement in the beginning and be able to drag it across. Next week, you will be completing another cash flow statement, but instead of doing just a one-year cash flow statement, you'll actually be doing multi-year cash flow statements, and you'll have to greatly use this in if-then statement. So we're going to teach it to you this week. Now, the thing to remember with this if-then statement for this week is it's going to be very important in figuring out the need for the 2017 operating loan, and it would be very beneficial for you to really understand how to use an if-then statement. I hope these three videos on cash flows help. Again, these cash flow statements are not meant to be to replace an accounting class. An accounting class is going to be very beneficial for you, especially if you start running your own business. These are very basic cash flow statements. They're very rough overview of the cash flow statement. The purpose of this assignment is to show you that yes, you can create a cash flow statement in Google Sheets, and then being able to use these formulas to be able to say add up these and plug in formulas in different places to really be able to fully calculate a cash flow statement. And it is not designed to really teach you exactly how to use a cash flow statement and where everything goes. We do have to cover part of that in order for you to accurately do this assignment. But the main purpose of this assignment is showing you that you can do a cash flow statement in Google Sheets and give you a little bit of exposure to a cash flow statement to where you could go out and actually start using these tools in your own business. I hope these 3 videos helps you out with this week's assignment. Please let me know if there's anything that you need as far as help-wise.